Too bad.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Back from vacation? Everybody? I just hear you guys were in the Keys, right?
Let's do it.
Not together, but we're there together, kind of. Weird. That's crazy. Oh, cool. Okay, so got some contracts. I've got Tom Russo with Encompass Mortgage going to give you some thoughts and ideas and put a challenge together to get 2 listings in the next 2 deals in the next 60 days. And we have some marketing material that you can use. And if you utilize it and implement it, you have a very good opportunity to start some conversations and get 2 deals in the next 60 days. But that means that you have to do something with it. You can't just sit there and stare at it. I've got, before we start, I like to always give it a little bit of some kind of message for you. So my question for everybody is, who here wants $1 million? No. If I gave you $1 million, how would that make you feel? How would it make you feel?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's not things. No, I turned it down. How would it make you feel if I gave you $1 million? You'd be wondering what. Oh, so we have the skeptic of the group. You're going to give me $1 million. There's got to be a catch. Hold on. Too good to be true. I'm going to give you $1 million. How would it make you feel? Would it make you feel great? Would it make you feel happy? How would you wake up tomorrow? If you had $1 million, how would you wake up tomorrow? Make a sound. Tell me the sound that you would make if you woke up with $1 million in your pocket tomorrow. All right. You got, none of you want $1 million. None of you want $1 million from the way that sounded, right? So what would it sound like if you woke up with $1 million in your pocket tomorrow? Okay, we'd be a little excited. Now, what if I told you I want to give you $10 million? Hold on. I want to give you $10 million, but there's a caveat to it. You don't get to wake up tomorrow morning. Who wants the $10 million now? No, you don't get to wake up. You get $10 million, but you do not get to wake up tomorrow morning. Would you take it? Would you take the $10 million if it means you don't get to wake up tomorrow? Who here would? Okay. So what you're telling me is that waking up tomorrow morning is worth more than $10 million. How many of you woke up this morning feeling like you were worth more than $10 million? Not a single hand. Something to put in perspective. I'll give you $10 million right now, but you don't get to wake up tomorrow morning. So you're telling me that waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million, but none of you felt like that this morning. Why? If you were going to feel like $10 million, what would you do tomorrow morning? What would you have to do to feel like $10 million tomorrow morning? Because I just told you you'd have 10 million pieces of paper and you got all excited, but what would it feel like if you had $10 million tomorrow morning? What would you have to do in your life to make yourself feel like you had $10 million? What would make life worth living tomorrow? Because you just told me your life is worth more than $10 million. Think about that. How about you all sit down sometime today and give yourself a 5 to 10 minute pause and reflect moment, get away from everything, pause and reflect, clear your mind, clear the day. Don't answer your phone, turn it off, shut everything off, go somewhere, go to the park, go to the beach, go somewhere. And just write down 3 to 5 things that you would have to do tomorrow that would make you feel like you were worth more than $10 million. Not monetary. It doesn't have to be anything with money. Just things that would make you feel like you were worth more than $10 million. Because you all said you'll give up $10 million to make sure you wake up tomorrow. What would make it worth it? Put a list together. 3 to 5 things that you would have to do tomorrow to make you feel like it was worth living, worth $10 million. Okay? Just a thought. Something to think about. An attitude of gratitude makes me priceless. That is correct. All right. So first, let's go ahead and start with. Oh, I didn't open up that other one. So let's just go down and we're going to give some kudos to people that did something last week. So we're looking at our numbers for listings taken last week. Everybody who took some listings last week, where did you go? I took a listing last week. I'm trying to contribute to the cause here. Kim Hodgkins took a listing last week. Jim Graff, Susie Brush, and then Dick Wilson all took listings last week. So we have 5 listings put on in our South Shore team. 2 of them are already under contract. 2 of them already under contract. Those are the 2. We took 22 listings in the first 10 days of May. 2 of them went under contract. There you go. There's the 2. Congratulations, guys. And let's go down and see who had open sides of business. Let's see, new deals. Now we'll go to closings. Closings. Congratulations on your closings. Jennifer Bell with a closing, Jessica Decker and Derek Carlson, Robin Bennett, Daryl Herbert, Lisa Silla with a double side, Carlene Lester, Christy Roll, Amber Mills, Rachel Markley, Thomas McCombs, Robin Bennett, and then Deborah Beard and Darby Pfeiffer. Congratulations, all of you, on your closings this past week. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 closings in a week, 13 sides. So it's a good start. I think we can continue to do some more. And that's why we're talking about what we're going to talk about today, giving you some opportunities to get some new deals. Before we jump into our topic today, I want to give anybody with new listings an opportunity to pitch them, so that we can get those out. I know Rachel Markley had a new listing. Rachel, are you online? If you can, unmute yourself. We'll cover your Isle Bay listing.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Go ahead. Tell me all about it. What do you got?
Okay, great. This is a 2021 Park Square build in Mira Bay. So it's less than a year old. Beautiful, 4,000 square feet. It's on an awesome lot, and it's almost half an acre, which is a rare find in Mira Bay. Room for a pool and also room for some yard space in addition to the pool. Beautiful upgrades. You can see they have done a lot of custom fixtures, wood look tile floor, beautiful kitchen, double ovens, farmhouse sink, the master's downstairs, and then upstairs you've got a big bonus room and 3 more bedrooms upstairs, with also each bedroom has a bathroom. There's a study.
Yeah. Do you know how many activities you can do in that shower?
Yeah.
Gosh, how many people can fit in there? We should all go over there and find out how many people we can fit in that shower. You don't have to turn it on. You can keep your clothes on. We just want to, it's an experiment. That's all that it is.
Well, you see Shannon has already been in there, the photographer, right?
All right. So what's the, how big was it again? How many square feet?
It's about 4,000.
4,000 square feet. How many beds and baths?
It's 4 bed, 4.5 bath.
4 bed, 4.5 bath.
Plus office.
And it's a 1-year-old Park Square built home on almost a half an acre. What's your price point going to be?
It's 900,000.
900,000.
Oh, and I didn't say this. It's not pictured. There's custom closets too. Like all the closets are really well organized. And also it's a 3-car garage, which you probably saw at the beginning.
So they're a 3-car garage, all custom closets, really nice upgrades, less than a year old or about a year old. Great. Yep. How'd you get this listing?
I don't really know. No, I think just Sphere. I've been doing a lot of talking to a lot of people in Mira Bay, and I think he follows me on Facebook, so I think that was a big part of it too. Just seeing that I was active in the community and active in off-water properties in Mira Bay.
Did he interview other people?
No.
No. Okay. So that's excellent. So you talked to people, you got out in your community, got on social media, and you got some opportunities.
Yep.
There's a nice little, maybe if we put all that together, maybe if you talk to people, get on social media and create some opportunities, we might create some opportunities for listings. Great. Anybody else, any other new listings that you want to pitch? Anybody else before we jump in? Michelle, come on down. Tell me what you got.
I think this is, you can hear, right? Like it's registering.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I have a listing coming up. Probably
That's
on
not
the
registering.
market tomorrow. Can you hear me? Green light's on.
Well, go ahead and
Okay.
pitch.
So it's a townhouse. It's on Sandy Beach Street in Tampa, close to Veterans Parkway in West Waters. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, very beautifully redone inside. And it's gonna got a community pool, gated community, and gonna go for 300,000. So we'll probably have it active tomorrow. Square footage is 1,625 square feet.
It's close to the Veterans Expressway over here, town and country type area,
Yeah, right off West Waters, Sandy Beach Street.
close to the airport, close to
It's a great
downtown.
name. Yeah. it's a
Great
great name.
location. Nice townhomes, just to give you an idea of what they look like. They're, if you're familiar with the Valhalla townhomes in the Brandon Riverview area, that's pretty much what they are. They're the 1,600 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Nicely built, nice communities, gated community.
Yeah, this one's 2.5 baths, so it's
Awesome.
half bath downstairs, and they've redone the bathrooms and the kitchen. So I'll have pictures up hopefully today.
Okay, you can hear her. Thank you. Good. Anybody else? Any other listings you want to pitch? Ms. Darby?
I do, Fred. Carolina here.
Carolina, go ahead. What do you got?
I have a 2-2 townhome coming available this weekend in Hawks Point. It's about 1,500 square feet, and it was built in 2017. Well kept. It has a lake on the back, so it's a prime lot, and that is going to be around 260.
Gotcha. Thank you. 2-2 townhome, Hawks Point, under 300,000. Darby, what do you got for us?
I have a new listing coming up on Thursday in Triple Creek. It's from Mattamy Builders. It's the Amelia floor plan. The house is just 2 years old. It's on a 60-foot lot, which is rare for a home that size. So the yard is huge. It's 3 bedrooms with an office or a den, screened in lanai. Single guy lives there. It's very little wear and tear. He just fenced in the back, all conservation in the back, no neighbors. And it's going to be listed at 409 in Triple Creek.
So ladies, if you're looking for a single man, we got a home.
Sorry, he's moving to be with his girlfriend.
So we got all your price points covered. We got a $270,000 2-2 townhome, a $300,000 3-2.5 townhome, a $409,000 single family, a $900,000 resort style community. Mr. Aledo, what do you got for us, sir?
I mentioned a rental property last week. Matter of fact, you showed it. Thank you very much. We kind of held off on MLS. It's probably going to go in this week, but if you have somebody looking, 1,700, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Magnolia Park, easy to show. We had some repair work that we needed to get done first, so
Excellent.
we're pretty much ready. Thank you. 1,700.
$1,700 a month, 2-2 in Magnolia Park, gated section, townhome, no garage, but great floor plan, great location.
Great.
Very, very desirable location. Jackie, what do you got?
It's a past client. And this is the fourth deal that he called me for. They like to move a lot, which is fine with me. 6646 Park Strand Drive, Apollo in Waterset. It is a West Bay Key Largo, and it's 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage. They painted the outside like a beachy kind of bluish green. And it's very unique, but I will tell you, it looks really amazing.
Very desirable floor plan, the Key Largo
They
from West
also
Bay.
They also didn't like the way the granite looked on the kitchen. So they went ahead and put one of those waterfall granite pieces on the house. And I'm meeting it today for photos. So, but it's going on the market at 7.
$700,000 Park Strand Key Largo floor plan. What can you buy a Key Largo floor plan in Waterset? What's the starting price? I want to say they're like 780, right? It's in that price range. So great. I mean, guys, if you got buyers, you got people looking, great opportunities. You just heard Naomi talk about adjustable rates for an opportunity for some borrowers, because it can help them keep that price point and be able to purchase what they want. How often does the average person move and relocate? How often? 4 years? 5, 7? Anybody else? Anybody want to go 10? Can we hear 10? I got 10. Can we continue? 22 years? If the average right now, the average person moves every 3 to 5 years. It typically is 5 to 7, but recently it's been 3 to 5 years. So if you have a adjustable rate, that's a 5.5, a 5-year fixed, that might be an opportunity, especially for people who are only planning to move once every 3 to 5 years. it's definitely something to consider with the recent hike. If you have a borrower who has been pushed out of the market or can't afford what they're looking for because they're in the fives now, some of the adjustables are going to be. Tom, what would you say for decent credit? What would you get an interest rate for an adjustable rate range? So you can be, if you have a 5.25 now, you're going to be in the high fours, and that could save some of your buyers. 0.5% could be the difference of $150 a month, which could be the difference in their DTI. So with that, since we're chatting with Tom, why don't you come on down and we'll talk a little bit about what we have and what we would like to talk about and give you that opportunity for. It should be green.
Okay, I'm green.
Good.
Okay. Well, before I get started, somebody had a question in your previous meeting about DTIs. So I don't remember who it was, but we do have a program that it doesn't look at your DTI, and it is for primary homes. So if you do know people, this will be something that Chris and I talk about at more length, but we have a program, it's a no ratio program, so it doesn't look at your ratios. So interest rates are a little bit higher, but if you do know somebody who finds themselves where they can't prove their income for various reasons, it is an option for them. So I had somebody made $20,000 just refied a home. So with 20,000, usually can't do that. So
cool.
It's not what we're going to talk about today. Thank you for having me. We're going to talk about something that is very misunderstood. So does anybody know anybody that's 55 years and above? Because I know none of us are 55 years. Yeah, a few of us know people 55 and above. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to get you more listings, more buyers that are 55 and above. So I don't know how many people saw my first presentation. We did that back about a month ago. This is a short 10 slides, 11 slides. We'll go through it quick, and I'll have a handout for you. Now, I don't want to give it out yet because then nobody pays attention to the presentation, right?
Sure.
Okay. This is old, but all the principles apply. So when you open it and you see something about a $200,000 house, you go, this guy, Tom, he doesn't know the market. There's no such thing. Okay. Well, I know that, but all the principles and the information in here is correct. Just double the price and you'll be good. All right. So I bought 1,000 of these. I don't want them to go to waste. I bought them several years ago. So let's get into this presentation today. I want to show you something that is very unique. A lot of you may have heard of it, and I can assure you that nobody is using it the way it should be used. So where is the slides? There we go. I guess I could just click on here. I can just do a slideshow.
Yeah, just click there.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So more listings, more buyers. It appears that Craig may want you guys to get more listings and more buyers based on the last presentation I saw. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Chris will get more into the 60-day challenge as he and I firm this up. But there's no doubt in my mind that anybody who wants to implement what I'm going to teach you today can get you 2 more transactions. Okay. So our market here is to the 55 plus, the baby boomers. The product is called a HECM for purchase, and it is a loan that does not require a principal and interest payment. Okay. It's that simple.
If you just said that alone, just that one piece alone, how many conversations do you think you can start? How many conversations, if you just said, hey, I was just talking to somebody this morning about a purchase program with a loan that requires no principal and interest payment. Do you think you can get some people that would say, really, what the hell is that?
From what I can tell from your meetings, they're a lot about marketing, and this is marketing. Okay. This is about getting people to call you, getting people to respond on social media. My favorite advertising is free because I'm cheap. My wife will tell you that. But free is something everybody can do starting today. All right. So anybody who wants to make money, we can show you how to start this today with a short 1-minute video that will hopefully make your phone ring simply by using it on social media. Okay. So everybody says, where am I going to get buyers and sellers? Okay. It's like me, where am I going to get my loans from? Well, I'm going to show you a number of ways that you can start today. Some of them are free. Chris is going to do training for anybody who wants to, do the 60-day challenge with us. But social media, Facebook, everybody reads Facebook, whether we like it or not. Okay. You may have your own database. We have a video, again, 1 minute, get out there, send out that video. It's a link. It's on YouTube. We're going to create your own channel for you. So you have a little bit of, I'll use the word brand recognition. If you don't have a Facebook account, and you don't have your own database, we, meaning Chris, can teach Remind, which can give you everybody that you want to access. You can be that big fish in a small pond. Like Chris said, if you just said to somebody, hey, what if I could show you a mortgage program that has no required mortgage payment? Would that start a conversation? The answer is it will. Okay. So online sources, there's all kinds of ways to get leads. But again, I want to show you some simple things and things you can do today. I have these going on my Facebook page, and I just keep putting different covers on these YouTube covers that you all see. You just change the cover and it looks like a completely different story that you want to present. Meanwhile, it's the same thing. Okay. And we're gonna put more of these out there. Now, how many people have had somebody come to them with $200,000, $250,000, $300,000, and they want a home that is outside of that price range, but they don't want a loan? Okay. I'm sure that many of you have had people come to you. I have this amount of money, but this is what I want to buy. And you want to say, look, you can't buy that cash. Well, now with this knowledge, if they're 55 or above, you can. Won't get into all the particulars, but just one, if it's a married couple, just one of the people have to be 55. Okay. So if somebody came to you with 250 and they wanted to buy a home that realistically, you know, is 475, they want to buy that home cash so they don't have to make a monthly payment. How do you do that? This program does that for you. Okay. Will this create more sales? Again, if you know that it's available and you can send them a video link, which is what I have provided to you, okay, or will provide to you, you don't have to explain it. It's all done for you. Okay. So how are we going to do this? So I have two columns here, what you've known and now what I'm teaching today. And the reason I did it this way is everybody's comfortable with the first column. If there was a home for 475 and I came to you as a buyer and I had 250 down, very simple. Tom's going to get a loan for 225. And on a 30-year fixed, I wanted to use 4% because I just, even though rates aren't 4%, I wanted to kind of go in the middle of where we were last year and where we are today. I wanted to be reasonable. This would cost me $1,074 a month principal and interest. Okay. Everybody's comfortable with that, right? Good. Very simple stuff. The second I move over to column 2, everybody gets a little bit foggy. So I did it this way to try to make it simple. Notice these two numbers are the same in column 2, the same purchase price, the same down payment. Oh, I have a loan for 225, but guess what? Your payment is 0. Now, if that doesn't get people to call you or, at least ask, how does that work? They're probably not interested in buying a home. Okay. So this is something that I hope is crystal clear. We are selling benefits. This is a big benefit, a 0 mortgage payment. You just pay your taxes, insurance, and HOA. It's that simple. Okay. Now, making homes easier to buy and sell. Now, I may have $500,000 in the bank. In Chris's example, I have $1 million, $10 million. Okay, but let's say I come to you with $500,000 in the bank. You don't know how much I have. You don't know what's in my IRA, my 401k. You have no idea. I tell you that I want to buy a home for $475. Okay. Is it going to be easier for me to part with my $475 cash when I only have $500,000? Or would it be easier for me to part with, let's just say, $250? Cash is king, and I know the market we're in. I agree with all of you. Okay. There's no argument there. Okay. But you're going to find people who maybe will say, you know what? This is really nice that I could preserve $225,000 of my cash. So again, let's look at this example here. Okay. Again, I won't get any argument from anybody or give you one because I agree. A cash offer is the best offer. We all know that. Okay. So, but if you have $475,000, okay, you want to buy a home for $475,000, you have the cash. That's great. You have 0 loan, you have 0 principal and interest, and the money left over. I have none. I've just spent them. But in column 2, if you give me this choice, I could still say no. I can say, hey, I want to use my cash, and I get it. A lot of people do. But if I have the option, I may go to a $500,000 house. I may go to a $550,000 house and go, you know what? I didn't know I only had to put down about 53%. That's still a pretty strong offer if I'm putting down 50% on a home. I'm not going anywhere, right? That's a pretty strong candidate. So if I have this option, I may either part with more money or make it easier to part with 475 or, because I don't have to part with all of it at this point. So again, it's just a way to look at it. I won't ever disagree that cash is king, especially in this market, but it's just something that you can know. Okay. And by the way, there's a lot of reasons here that some people don't want to part with money because they want to. I've had people who say, I want to do this loan with you, Tom, because I don't want to tap into my 401k. I'm going to get taxed if I do that. Okay. So there's lots of times people need the option. And all I'm saying is just know it's an option. You can always present it. And again, I have a video on all of this and people can say no, it's okay. So now this is something Chris and I talked about a little bit. And again, you talk to your managers and make sure this is all something you guys can do. It's just, again, a marketing idea. This is a house that's $600,000 down in Nokomis. I pulled it off realtor.com, stole the picture. Hopefully it's none of your listings, okay? But if it is, I'm giving you some free advertising here. But this is a $600,000 home. And I'm saying, could you run an ad like this? Talk to these guys. They know all the rules. I don't. Okay. Where you show someone how to buy a $600,000 house with approximately $325,000 down. Okay. Now, naturally, you can't offer loan products. So you have to word it correctly, which is why I'm, keep referring over here to Chris and Jimmy to make sure you say what you're allowed to say. Maybe you have to do it in conjunction with a lender. Okay. I'm a licensed lender. I can help you with that as well. Maybe we've got to put the Encompass mortgage information on there. I don't know. Again, but if I saw this, I would at least say, that's a really nice house. I only need $325 for it. In my mind, if I'm 55 plus, I'm thinking I need 600 because I don't want a loan. I don't want to make a mortgage payment. But if I could buy that for 325, it probably would at least get me to say, how do I do that? Okay. Everything is about getting your phone to ring. Okay. So now this is a second strategy. And this is what Chris was alluding to earlier about 2 transactions, 2 closings in 60 days. Okay. If you could get some more listings, I think you'd all be happy because we all know realtors love listings. So what if you could help someone sell their current home? People sell their homes for all kinds of reasons, but you got to give them a good reason to, okay? Downsize to a home or right size to another home. In some cases, move up to a bigger house. But again, let's talk about the downsize. Maintain $0 in monthly mortgage payments because a lot of people have their home free and clear. They don't want to take on a mortgage, right? And help them put $100,000 to $300,000 in their bank. Now, this is the key. You say, well, how are you going to do that, Tom? If you understood the concept of this mortgage, you only need about half the down payment. It's that simple. So if I walk away from closing with a bunch of money, I don't have to use all that money to buy another home. I only have to use a portion of it. It's really very simple. But it's your job to show people, okay, if you want the listing, how to do this. So I ask you this, Chris, I know that maybe you want to downsize your home. If I could show you how to right size it to another home, different area, whatever, and put between $100,000 and $300,000 in your bank, would you be interested in sitting down talking to me about it? Yeah, just that simple. He could say no. He can say, how do you do it? But if I don't ask him that question, he doesn't know. Okay. No, oh, by the way, Chris, you're not going to have any mortgage payment in because Chris looks over 55. So I know I can approach him. Okay. So for those of you that don't like math, I've tried to make it again, super, super easy, but I am here to help. That slide's coming up. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to show people how to put $300,000 in their home, buy that $475,000 home we just talked about, and downsize from their $700,000 home. Okay. Again, I'm going to do this here in example format. I'm going to sell the current home at 7. I put 100,000 here for a loan amount. I put that intentionally because I want you to see that some people may have loan amounts, and that's okay. All right. The number we're looking at is they're going to walk away with $600,000 of equity. After closing costs, you're going to have about $550,000. So when they leave your closing, they're going to have about $550,000 in their hand. But they don't need all of that money to go buy the new house, right? All they need is about $250,000. So we're going to downsize them from this big house to this house over here. And we're going to show them, and again, I will help you with all this. We're going to show them they only need this. This is their loan amount, and this is how much money they have left over. So there's a lot of people who maybe are house rich and cash poor. It may fall into this situation where, man, it would really be nice to have a $100,000 cushion. I'm age 70 years old, and maybe one of the spouses are sick. Maybe one of the spouses is dead. There's so many reasons that people want to have more money in their bank, and they want to have a house that's either right size home or a downsize home. So again, I just did more math here. I know math is not everybody's strong point. My wife suffers from math issues, but I don't know. But this is simple addition and subtraction. Okay. So it's all here. Oh, wrong way. All right. Now, if that whole thing confused you or doesn't motivate you, maybe this will, because this would be your gross commission if you did that just once a year. Okay. And I know Chris will provide you guys all these slides, or Jimmy, whoever sends them out. So if you're writing down, thank you, but you don't need to because you'll get it. So you can all calculate your commissions, but I just want you to see there is a big prize. Okay. And you only need one person to downsize and buy another home from you. And again, is it going to be 35? Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 28. I don't know. It's a big number. Okay. partner with me for success. I explain everything to your buyers. Again, here's the link. You can go look at that link. You don't have to explain anything. I've done it. I don't sell to people. For those of you who know me, there's 1 or 2 of you in here I do know. I believe in educating and showing people pros and cons. I do not believe in selling. That is just not something I feel comfortable with seniors, because I want seniors to make the right decision for them. Okay. So this, if you go to this location, you will see this video. That's all you have to do is direct people. Now, I've got other tools I can help you with on a one-on-one basis. I've done that with some of you already. I'm also working on a YouTube channel specifically so that you guys just take a video, copy that link, send it out, post it, do whatever you want. Do nothing with it, okay? But you can do this for free and you can get some traffic, okay? And just as a side note, I've been doing this for 19 years, so I think I know what I'm doing at this point. If not, I've really faked it well. I have lots of different loans that I offer: conventional, VA, FHA, USDA, non-QM loans, bank statements, no income verification. We talked about that at the beginning. And of course, the reverse mortgages, okay? That's my information. If you want to write it down, if you want to wait till the presentation, or if you want to take one of these outdated flyers that, again, have good information, just the numbers are wrong, it's on the back. I found them this morning because I ran out of business cards. The guy who does my business cards literally had a heart attack 2 weeks ago, and I was scheduled to give him my business cards. And I said, oh boy, I'm out of business cards. So let me go get some old flyers, but they have my information on there. So Chris, I think that I probably did my time. So I don't know if there's time for questions and answers or whatever you want.
What questions do you guys have first, based on what Tom talked about? Questions? Yes. You didn't raise your hand.
You are paying attention. Wonderful. Okay.
Last time you said it was 62 years of age and older. Now it's 55 and older.
Different programs. Okay. What the lenders have realized is that there's a big market for condominiums. Okay. So what they did is create proprietary programs where they lend their own money. And that program has its own advantages too. It doesn't have FHA mortgage insurance, but it still has all the same benefits of no payments and a non-recourse loan. So yeah, 55 plus. So they got smart. So we can even do some condos. I just closed an 80-year-old lady on a condo on a refinance. But before that, it was to get an FHA spot approval. Forget it. It's miserable. But very, very good. Yes, I did say 62. That is the FHA program.
Tenley? What are the income qualifications is a question?
They do have, there's no debt ratios on a reverse mortgage. They have to have what's called a residual income. I've been doing reverse mortgages for 7 years. I've yet to find one person that doesn't qualify for the residual income calculation. The reason is there's no principal interest payment, so it's really easy to qualify. Okay. Absolutely is, yes.
He's doing a reverse mortgage purchase, and there's a lot of benefits for certain people for this, and that's why the reverse mortgage has gotten a bad name, because people were taking advantage of people before. You could tell Tom does not want that to happen. He's not someone who's going to take advantage of them. He wants to give them an option. How many people do you know would benefit from having an extra $200,000 or $300,000 in their pocket at 80 years old? Right? There's a lot of people that could benefit. How many people that, whether they have spouse, family, kids, or anything, don't plan on leaving anything to any of them? I'm not planning on leaving, but even if I did, they may get something out of it. Worst case scenario, I don't want to get too much into it. Tom can cover all this, but worst case scenario, no one is responsible for any of the debt, even if the house is upside down, because it's based on an FHA product, which has mortgage insurance. So even if you leave your home to somebody and it becomes upside down, your kids aren't responsible for that debt. It gets wiped out and it's thrown away. So it's not, they've made a lot of changes to this because of the way that things were. But here's an option. If you know people who own their home free and clear, or who have $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in equity in their home, if you go and tell them, how many people do you know aren't moving right now because of prices? How many people, because they're on some type of fixed income, they may not have enough cash when they sell the home, aren't moving because they're afraid they won't be able to afford it. And whenever I sell this, I may not be able to afford the next home, and it's not going to be as nice as my home. Even though I want to downsize, I'm going to end up paying the same, and I'm not going to have any money left over. There's a lot of people in that scenario. This is an option that gives them, sell your home, $400,000, and get to walk away with it. And you can use a portion of that to put down and keep more in your pocket. Help yourself in your later years, pay for whatever fees that you need, pay for, some of you have a sick spouse, something like, whatever the case is, you have cash that you'll be able to utilize that will benefit you. And if you're on a fixed income of $40,000 a year and you all of a sudden have an additional $200,000 to $300,000 in your pocket that's accessible that you can put into an account, would that make your last years a little better? 10, 20, 30 years a little better? Yes.
I think I'm understanding your question. The loan negatively amortizes. I tell people this and it helps them to understand. A reverse mortgage, ready for this, works in reverse of a regular mortgage. A regular mortgage, you make a mortgage payment, loan balance drops. Reverse mortgage, you do not make a mortgage payment, loan balance goes up. It's that simple. The balance goes up, but as Chris was alluding to, even if the balance goes through the roof, you're not stuck with the shortfall. What most people don't know is the big change they made about 5 years ago was if you're married and the man, let's just say, was 62 at the time of the loan and the wife was, say, 58. Well, what would happen many years ago is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, the guy dies and the wife says, I was never on the loan. What do I do? Lender said, get out or refi. Well, she can't. She's on Social Security. That doesn't happen anymore. But all the horror stories you hear about reverse mortgages, most of them are not true, or they're the fault of people who didn't pay their taxes or do something. Okay. We all know when we do what we're supposed to do, nothing bad happens, at least financially, when you pay your bills and do all the stuff you're supposed to do. It's the people who don't do what they're supposed to do, get themselves. It's not the product, it's always the people. Because I've not had one person in 7 years that I've been doing this has had an issue. Why? Because I educate them up front.
So what's their obligation? If you buy a home cash, what's your obligation to that home as the homeowner? What do you have to pay? Taxes, insurance, HOA. That's what you have to pay if you pay cash for the home. If I buy a $500,000 home, I pay taxes, insurance, and HOA. What if I bought the $500,000 home using this product? I could put $225,000 down. I would still make the same principal and interest payment. I'm sorry, I still make the same taxes and insurance payment. That's all you make, the same payment as if you paid cash for it, but now I have a cash in my pocket that I can use and I make no principal and interest on it. So you're in the same scenario. The only difference is the negative amortization. And still, like you said, there's no real downside to that, even if things go way down into the dumps because it's protected.
Well, the stuff we don't get into, and I do have slides. If any of you go to this, got to go backwards. Here we go. If any of you go to here to see what a buyer would see, I actually do some slides where I show people that the appreciation of homes, even at 2%, can often offset some or all of the negative amortization. Okay. And so again, it's education, it's making people understand. You don't have to explain it. I've done it all for you, but certainly your goal obviously is to get your phone to ring. And then when your phone rings, you'll have access to me. You'll have my cell phone number there. I answer it pretty much 7 days a week. So,
So we just pulled up in Remind just yesterday, Jimmy and I pulled up all of just Sun City Center, just because there's going to be a higher concentration of people without a mortgage in that area. We pulled it up. There's in all of Sun City Center in Kings Point, there were 6,600 homes that did not have a mortgage based on public record. 6,600. What's 1% of that? 66 potential deals. If you just use typical sales ratios, like internet sales, internet marketing, less like 1%, there's 66 people that could potentially benefit from a product like this that might be interested in using it, that would at least want to have some further discussions. So if you were talking to, that's on the low end, but you're going to at least start some conversations. They may not go for this product, but it's a conversation starter that you can say, what would you be interested in finding some more information about how you can own this $500,000 home with no monthly payment? We have some ads, we have some of that. That's the whole point in 2 deals in 60 days. If you find one listing who lists their home and they take that opportunity, even if they list it and they want to use the cash and buy another home, you created an opportunity based on the information that Tom's provided you with to be able to have a conversation starter. If you get one listing, they're going to buy another home. There's 2 sales in 60 days. And if you talk to, how many people a day would you have to talk to every day with the opportunity to get one listing? That was a question. Anybody feel free to answer. How many people do you have to talk to? How many people would you have to talk to every day to have an opportunity? How many people do you talk to a day? New people. Don't know. How many new people do you talk to a day? New people. 15. How many new people do you talk to a day? 5 new people. 5 new people, John? How many? 5 new people. Okay. And how many new listings have you taken in the last 30 days? How many new listings have you taken in the last 30 days? New listings in the last. If you decided to talk to 15 to 20 people, putting advertisements out, putting flyers, because we'll have flyers, we'll be able to email information. And just for conversation starters, just conversation, 20 people a day, you would have an opportunity to at least get 1 listing in the next 30 days. 20 people a day, you will have at least 1 listing opportunity, at least 1. Because most of us aren't doing those things. It's not that it doesn't work. It's that we don't work it. You could go, we just went through 6 people. None of you are talking. You said 5, but I don't believe that either. Because I don't believe you're talking to 5 new people every single day, 5 days a week. I know it's not happening, because if you were, you would have more opportunities. That's just the sales game. That's just the numbers. That's just the reality of it. New people, 5, at least 10, you would have at least 1 new opportunity at the end of 30 days. At least 10, 1 new opportunity. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to put together an email. We're going to send out the slides. We're going to send out the videos. We're going to send out, Jimmy created a Moxie presentation that you can email people, that you can put out there. We're going to have some other flyers. All of that's going to be in an email. And then what we're going to do is you're going to have that. You can start using it as you please. And then next week, we'll follow up with some action opportunities. We'll walk through Remind, just because I don't want to run short on time. We'll walk through Remind where you can find those opportunities. You can get out and start talking to people and creating some conversations. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the question for online is, the mortgage balance is going to go up. What happens when the mortgage balance gets to where the home value is?
Okay. So first answer to you is generally takes anywhere between 12 and 15 years for that to happen. And that assumes no appreciation. Okay. Because the lender only gives you about 50% of the value of the home. Okay. Hence the whole thing. If I buy a $500,000 home, I need about 250 down. They give you the other 250. Okay. Again, simple numbers. So number one, it takes 12 to 15 years on average for the house to go upside down. That assumes zero appreciation. If the house appreciates, it's something reasonable, 2 to 5%. It may never be upside down. But to your question, what happens? Nothing. Okay. You get to live in the home as long as you want, forever. As long as it's your primary, as long as you pay your taxes and insurance. And of course, if there's HOA or condo dues, you got to pay those, right? Just like you would if it was cash. But nothing. I had a 90-year-old lady. She called me probably every 3-4 months. Family friend, Tom, I'm worried. I see my balance going up. First of all, house never, she still had plenty of equity, but she was nervous. She was 93 years old. I kept telling her, Alona, don't worry. Okay. They can never, a lender can never remove you from a house with a reverse mortgage unless you vacate the house for 12 consecutive months. Okay. Then they ask you to sell it. Okay. Or of course, if you're defaulting on your taxes, something you have an issue with the county. Okay. But sure.
So the question is,
Sure.
if they go to sell the property, do they have to pay additional fees? If it's upside down, what do they do? Whether if they pass away and the family has to sell, what happens?
Okay. Very good question, a very common question. And again, I believe it's addressed in that. So when you, no, I'm going to answer it for you, but I believe it's addressed in the presentation for buyers because it's one of the common ones. Okay. What happens if you die and your house is upside down? Chances are your heirs don't want the house. Fair. If they do, they have the opportunity to buy it at 95% of the market value. So if they want it for sentimental reasons, they still have that opportunity at 95% of the market value. Number one. Number two is if your house is upside down and you die, you can do a deed in lieu. That's basically giving it to the bank because you're dead and who cares, right? If you have a deed in lieu, okay? and the third option is if you sell your house arbitrarily because I just don't live here anymore, whatever, and it's upside down, then the FHA mortgage insurance covers the shortfall, so there's no deficiency judgments. So those are basically the 3 scenarios. So you're covered in all cases, and your heirs are covered in all cases as well. Yeah, exactly. If you had 100,000 in equity and your child wanted it, they could refinance into a regular loan, buy it from you effectively, however they want to do it. If they're on title, they can refinance it. If they're not, they can buy it from you. Yes.
Any other questions? All right. Yeah. Just so in the interest of time, we'll work on putting together just some brief walkthroughs for this next week. We'll get an email out with all of the slides, the information on that, with opportunities for you to start working on that right away. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You will have Tom's information in the email that we send out. So you'll be able to contact him directly and ask any questions and see how you could best understand this. And otherwise, you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. What?
I'd say, hold on, go over what's happening the next.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So a few things popping up that we have happening. So tomorrow, I think it's 11 to 12:30. I can't even remember what time.
Yes. 11:30 to 12:30 tomorrow in this training room is another Moxie training, live and in person. Bring your laptop.
And we're going to be going over websites. It's actually 10:30. Excuse me. Can you change that for me? It's 10:30 to 2:30. So 2 hours, bring your laptops. We're going to websites, domains, custom pages. Honestly, whatever you want to talk about. It's going to be an open forum. You have questions, I'm going to throw them up on here. We're going to work through any issues that you may have with Moxie, along with going through some of that stuff. So
10:30 to 12:30 tomorrow in this training room. Please bring, it's not going to be broadcast. It's all bring your laptop hands-on in person. And then next Wednesday on the 18th, we have a deputy with the sheriff's office that wants to do a realtor safety security class. He wants to address safety, number one, personal safety, but also cybersecurity type safety, phishing scams, things like that for you to watch out for. He wants to go over and cover a lot of those things because you are in a profession where you have to answer your phone all the time. You have to answer emails. You're seeing a lot of that stuff. He wants to cover that. He wants to talk about that. He also wants to talk about some of your own safety, physical safety, things to watch for, things to pay attention to. That's going to be, again, that'll be live next Wednesday in this training room from 11 to 12:30. We'll also put that on Zoom, but we will be bringing lunch in too. So we will have a lunch and learn next Wednesday from 11 to 12:30, realtor safety security class. Please make sure that you show up for that. It's going to be very beneficial for everybody who does. Top agent event this Friday,
Yeah,
for
that's
those
it.
of you that got the invite, and we'll talk more about controlling the narrative. The market is what you discuss. So basically, wherever you put your focus is where your energy and your conversations are going to go. I know plenty of people that had a complete heyday whenever the elections come around. Social media, talking every time you run into them, they're talking about, can you believe that they did this and all of this, and then the voting this and they conversely, they didn't have a ton of business. So it's wherever your focus goes. If you focus on that the sky is falling, guess what? The sky is going to be falling. If you focus on the fact that, hey, no matter what happens, I should be able to talk to people and create opportunities, because no matter what, people need to move, people need to buy, people need to sell. You're going to create opportunity. So anything else?
No, that was it. I just want to make sure we hit those
Yeah, I
times.
forgot about that.
No,
All right.
you're
All right, guys, have a happy Tuesday. Thank you so much.